Travel day 2 of our 3-day long trip to Colorado. Came, we stayed, and we did not get beamed up by aliens in Roswell.
Or smoke weed.
That's true. We learned that there's dispensaries here, so is it legal
Yes.
in New Mexico? I guess that means yes. So, all right. We're heading north, further into New Mexico. We'll check back with y'all later. Bye.
Welcome to 99 Adventures, the podcast where the campsite stories are all about the RV lifestyle. We're your hosts, Alan and Kim, fellow lovers of all things RV living. Here on 99 Adventures, we explore the highs and pickups of life on wheels, whether it's discovering hidden gems off the beaten path or tackling the realities of RV living. But we're not just about the travel, we're about the taste, too. In every episode, we'll cook up something special right from the RV kitchen or campsite. So get hooked up, grab your skillet, and let's hit the road. It's time for 99 Adventures, where the journey and the flavors never stop. I'd say normally, before we talk about our latest adventure, what's cooking, but you want to tell everybody why we don't have anything cooking right now?
We just got through eating at a restaurant. We are celebrating our 26th wedding anniversary today. So we decided to have a lunch instead of like a dinner or whatever. So decided to kill a couple birds with one stone and do a videotaping to get posted. We're on Vallecito Lake in the San Juan National Forest, just outside of Bayfield, Colorado.
Yep.
We are doing our first work camping experience. I'm working 3 days a week. Kim's working from home.
Yep.
What else?
We just stuffed ourselves with 2 giant burgers.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say the restaurant. Do you know how to say the restaurant's name?
Waxahachie or something like
No,
that. I don't know.
That's Texas. We're in Colorado.
Watchahoochee or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll include a link down below. It's a local restaurant nearby, and it was delicious. Delicious burgers.
Yep.
But yeah, so we are here. On our last episode, we did talk about the fact that we would be coming to Colorado and be here for the summer for our work camping gig.
Experience, yes. So I just finished my first week of work.
We are here in Colorado, so before we talk about the work camping gig, let's talk about how we got here, how we got to Colorado.
We drove.
We did?
Yes, we did drive. We drove.
We drove. We
Yeah.
drove? Did we bring anything with us?
Our fifth wheel.
Oh, we did? Okay. We
Yeah.
pulled that behind us?
Yeah.
Yeah. We took 2 weeks to get ready to make this trip. It was over 900-mile trip that we did in 3 days.
Yeah. From a prepping standpoint, it's normal getting the rig ready to get on the road, which is normal ops, packing stuff up. We made a couple of runs to storage to drop off some stuff, pick up some stuff, and what we thought we would need in Colorado from a weather standpoint and so forth. We did change our postal situation. We had a normal P.O. box while we were in San Antonio. We have since switched over to Traveling Mailbox.
Traveling
Is the
Mailbox.
company.
Yeah.
Very small company. I think it's almost kind of like a startup, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I thought it was a lot bigger than what
Yeah.
it is actually.
So they work just kind of like a lot of the other traveling mailboxes where they'll scan, you get an email and they tell you got mail. Do you want them to open it, scan it, send it to you, whatever the case may be. And so that's been real convenient. I'm glad we did that. Probably should have done that from the very get-go, but we didn't.
And it's actually cheaper, FYI.
Yeah.
This one is than a
So
actual P.O. box.
it's $200 for we just paid for the whole year, so it's $200 for the year, whereas a P.O. box was costing us $180 for 6 months. And then you get all of these things on top of it, added features. So to me, it's a no-brainer. So we did that, storage runs. What else?
Do you want to talk about our little stowaway that we found actually before we left? but our little Stowaway came with us.
Yeah, I don't really think it's that big a deal as she does.
I do.
We have a mouse, and I'm
We
not
do.
so sure he's still with us,
We can't find him.
but I've tried to catch him on multiple levels of trapness, and he's apparently smarter than I am because I can't catch him, so we either still have the mouse or he's somewhere here in Colorado.
Yeah, because
I'd rather him be somewhere here in Colorado
than in our rig.
than in our rig.
Yeah.
And I hope he's a male if he is still in our rig, so it doesn't have babies.
So when we were packing up the morning that we left, I took all of the pantry items. We have a rear kitchen and it bounces back there. So I wanted to put all the pantry items, canned goods, that kind of stuff in a bag, and so that it wouldn't bounce everywhere and roll all over the place. And that's when we found a bag of flour that was in a Ziploc bag that the mouse had been, I don't know what, make bacon a cake with? I don't know. There was flour everywhere. And
And then
so-
bread.
so we get on the road, get that cleaned up, we get on the road. And our first night we stayed in Roswell, New Mexico. And it was a pretty smooth trip.
Other than fighting 35 to 40 mile an hour headwinds and getting 8 miles to the gallon, it was an easy trip.
Yeah.
Gradual climb to 8,000 feet, which we're currently at elevation-wise from San Antonio home base to here, and it was just a gradual climb the whole entire way. No big passes and so forth, but we're getting off subject
A little
on
bit.
the mouse a little bit.
Yeah. But we got to Roswell, and if you haven't been to Roswell, New Mexico or whatever, they've got all this UFO stuff going on over there. And we really did not have an opportunity to see anything or go explore.
Sunglasses.
Somebody needed sunglasses.
Yeah, so
we're
Roswell, first night stop. No issues there.
But it was we were in the truck
For Let's say 9 hours.
9
By
hours.
the time we got the camp set up and whatnot,
Yeah.
it was a long day.
It was a long day.
It was a long
But
day.
it wasn't, the
But it
travel
wasn't
piece
hard.
wasn't
It wasn't hard. The truck did great, just as I expected it to do. No issues with the RV, pulling it. So first night in Roswell, camped out, got up next day pretty early, I think. Went into, what was the second leg?
Vaughn. We stopped in Vaughn, New Mexico, and had lunch. And that's when we realized the brand new loaf of bread had been all the corners of all the pieces, all
Yeah.
the way through. Most of the loaf of bread had been eaten.
Yeah,
So
each
this dude-
so each day we stopped and had lunch. We had lunch ready for us in the RV,
Yes.
which is very convenient
Sandwiches.
and cheap.
But the mouse enjoyed the bread there.
So we know that we had the mouse up to Vaughn, New Mexico.
Yep.
What has happened since Vaughn
Since Vaughn.
to
No, because he stole a piece of pepperoni off the trap.
No, the pepperoni was still there, but
Oh,
the
it was
trap was set off.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Maybe he was there, maybe he wasn't.
So
Anyway, again, our leg from Roswell to Chama, which was our
Chama, New Mexico,
right, which was our second stop, we were fighting
headwinds.
major winds. Oh my goodness, the wind was so bad in Vaughn that I think that my favorite sweatshirt that I've had to steal a bunch of times back from my son got lost in Vaughn because of the wind. I don't know if it fell out of the truck and blew away. I don't know. But it was so windy
Yeah.
there. And all the way until we got to, I think it started to come down in Santa Fe.
Yeah. One of the things I did whenever we stopped is I always felt the temperature just with my hand on the wheel bearings on the fifth wheel. If they're running really hot, then that indicates that you have either an issue with your bearings or there's not enough grease that is lubricating those bearings. So the same thing when I pull any kind of trailer, I always try to pay attention to those, to the axle area and to the bearing area, because you certainly don't want one of those going out on you. But for a long trip, 900 miles, we didn't have any issues. Everything seemed great on the RV.
I do have a travel tip.
What?
When we went to Chama, when we got to Chama, remember, right? The campground, the first campground we went to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, first of all, I've spent that night, I spent more money on campgrounds with an S than I'd ever spent on any campground ever. So we get to a campground in the Trauma area.
One that she's already reserved.
Yes, and paid for. And we were the only ones there. There was a bunch of sites, and we don't believe there was a level site anywhere.
All of them were literally like this.
And we almost broke the trailer.
We almost broke the trailer because the front end was trying to come down so far to
Auto-leveling.
compensate for it being so unlevel that my jack went so far up in there that I had to actually stop the auto level from just completely damaging the whole front hydraulic system on the auto level system. We messed around there for a little while, and then finally I was like, you know what? We're gonna fold this up. We're not gonna stay here. This is gonna be a miserable night. So we ended up leaving there after we'd already paid for it. We didn't even tell them we were leaving. We just left. I'm sure there's probably, what in the world is going on? So whatever. We went right down the road. There's a state park. We got a spot, and
I'll
luckily,
put the name of the state park in the
yeah, it
notes.
was a
I
pretty
can't
cool.
remember.
It was a pretty cool
It was
state.
really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And it was, so we got a site. Luckily, both of these two first sites weren't very much per night.
Yeah.
And so we didn't waste a whole lot of money,
No.
but they only had 30 amp hookups, and we have a 50 amp. That's easily solved with a converter from 30 to 50 or 50 to 30, whichever the case may be. And I could have sworn I had a 30 to 50 reducer, and I didn't. So we ended up getting the spot, backed it in, got it ready, and I was like,
The pay button on my phone.
I was like, you know what? Before I unhook this thing, let me double check
I'd already
to make
paid.
sure that I have that 30 to 50 reducer, and I didn't. All I had was a 50 to 30. So we ended up leaving there. I called another campground in Chama and said, hey, do you have a spot? We're coming. So they had a spot, and
Which was not level either.
yeah, so we had to move us to another spot.
To another spot.
And because we didn't want to have to repeat the whole thing with the front end.
Yeah.
So they ended up putting us in another little spot, and we finally got set up that night, I think around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah. A longer day than we expected because the travel time was only going to be about 6 hours.
Yeah,
So-
six versus 9, and so we were like, oh, this day's gonna be a lot easier. By the time we got through with the third campground,
Yeah.
it ended up being probably just as long as the first day. So
It was.
I think probably the point is that you just never know what you're gonna run into.
Yeah.
And always be prepared. 30 to 50 reducer.
With a dog bone or a-
50 to 30 reducer.
Yes. Travel tip.
Yeah, big travel tip, because a lot of places they don't have that. So yeah,
Yeah.
get that item for sure.
For sure.
Depending on the type of rig you have, whether it's a 30 amp, and maybe they only have 50 amp. So you need a 50 to 30 converter.
The other thing that we used for the first time was we have that Open Roads card. If you don't know what the Open Roads card is, it is a discount card for fuel, diesel. So you can use it in the diesel, big truck diesel lanes at those gas stations where it takes the discount. And it comes with an app, and you can find those gas stations on the app and kind of plan your route or whatever. Now, it was a pain, the first one we did. And I will say, I did not know this, and if you have the Open Roads card. So I thought you just put in the card and it took off whatever discount was going to be right there off the price of the gas at the pump. But that's not how it works. You put the card in, and then you get approved, you pump, and then Open Roads does the discount on their end and then debits from your bank account.
Whatever
gas.
account you set up when
Or
you
whatever.
set your account
Yeah.
up.
So I thought it was just handled all at the pump, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
You get sent an email that shows what you saved, and then like the next day it gets taken out of
Which,
the
by
account.
the way, it was
was.
pretty significant.
It was. It was like
regards
$9.
To, yeah. No, it's almost it's $12.
Yeah.
It was like $12. So you figure $12 doesn't sound like a lot for one stop, but if you make 10 stops times 12, the math
tank of gas.
starts adding up. And if you do a lot of travel,
Yeah.
You're not stationary like we like to be for a period of time to give ourselves a chance to explore. Maybe you're the type that's you're getting up and moving every other day or every other week. It might be something worth looking into. So
For sure.
hopefully you have better luck in getting it to work than we did.
It didn't work.
I'm sure we're missing something,
Yeah, it
a
was just-
piece of the puzzle, and we'll do some more research and get it working. But it really wasn't that big of a deal to us. To me, I just wanted to get here. I really didn't care. I paid $5 a gallon. At any rate, here we are.
Yeah, but that drive from Chama to Bayfield or to this area, to Vallecito Lake area, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Lots of red rock.
I'm not even real sure that I'm going to go back to Texas, to be honest with you.
Been waiting 26 years to hear that.
This place is just unbelievable. It's hard to believe that places like, look at this.
It's gorgeous.
Look at this lake, man. I mean, it's what, probably 1,500 acres of lake. It's crystal clear.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking, I can see,
The bottom.
I could probably see 12 foot down with no obstruction. I've got snow on caps over on this side, snow on caps over here, which by the way, I do see some rain coming.
Yeah, so we're
This over here, this right here, you see some of the barren spots in the mountains. In 2002,
correct.
there was one of the worst wildfires this area has ever seen. And so those barren spots that you see are, and it's green, that's where new spruce has been built. But think about that, 2002, it's 2025, and there's still bare spots from this fire.
Yeah.
I don't know how many acres it's actually burnt, but I know it was well over thousands in the plural. And
Because
it
it's
burnt,
back.
it burnt all of this all the
back
way
behind.
around the lake,
Yeah.
and then went up
Around.
mountain over here. So one of the things too, and we didn't realize until we got up here, because we were talking to our neighbors, and we're getting ready to get into wildfire season. And this is wildfire season. Doesn't matter if you're in California or you're in
Here,
and
Texas.
whatever. Well, I don't know about Texas. No, not to, at any rate.
It's dry, so it's always wildfire season.
So if there is a forest fire and the National Forest Service comes in to the, say, an RV park, doesn't have to be the one you're in, and they say you have to leave, it means you have to leave. And so they kept talking about a go bag, you need a go bag, you need a go bag. And I'm like, what? They were like, yeah, because you don't get to take your rig with you. They tell you to leave, it's whatever you can grab in the next 10 minutes and you're out without your rig. So you just hope and pray that your rig doesn't get burnt, but if so, if you have to keep that in consideration, right? From an insurance perspective and so forth. Yeah, I didn't know you had to leave your rig, but yeah,
They won't let
they won't let you take it.
Won't let you take it.
Because it causes traffic jams and so forth, and they want people to get out in a timely manner.
Yeah.
I guess we got to do a go bag. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't even know what goes in there.
What does go in a go bag?
I don't know. We'll have to research that. I
Give us
know.
some
I know two things that
tips.
go in it.
Tell us.
2 wiener dogs.
Oh, 2 wiener dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, the boys.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have been here for
9 days.
a week, and I do believe that I got altitude sickness a few days in. I had a really bad day. I was exhausted.
Plus, we
and
were doing a lot of stuff
we
too.
were doing a lot, trying to get set up, get situated with the park where we're at, trying to get groceries and go to Durango, because Durango's close to here, and the wind is picking up, and I hope this isn't hurting the audio.
Yeah, it might be. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so I did get altitude sickness, and
we think.
Yeah. And I had heard this, and I knew this, but I did not do this, that at least 2 weeks before you're going to be in this level of this kind of elevation, which we're at 8,000 feet, you need to be pounding the water.
Yep.
And even using the electrolytes, whether the IV electrolytes in your water or the
Point is,
whatever
you need to be
kind.
hydrated when
Yeah.
you come up here. Even while we are doing this video, I'm catching myself forgetting to breathe. That's what I call it. It's where you just randomly have to go, oh my gosh, like you almost forgot to breathe, and you didn't forget to breathe because you're still alive, but you need more oxygen than what I guess you're taking in or what you're accustomed to taking in.
Right.
And so you find yourself having to stop and to actually take a deep breath. And we didn't notice that the last time we were in Colorado, but that was on a vacation.
It was on a vacation.
And we were in Denver, which is
but
we started in Denver.
But then we were up in Breckenridge, Vale,
But I didn't notice it then.
Yeah, we were up in the condo, like on the 3rd floor, and yes.
See right there, I had to take a deep breath.
But the difference is too, is we were only there 5 days. We were there a week.
Yeah.
So,
the rule of thumb, I guess what I've heard is it takes a month. Give yourself a month once you are here and
to acclimate.
Your body to acclimate and to get used to drinking a lot of water. I try to drink a lot of water anyway, but some people don't like drinking water, and you're just gonna have to get over that because you really need to drink a lot of water up
And they
here.
tell you, like, no carbonated drinks, don't do carbonated drinks instead or anything like that. And of course, alcohol, that kind of stuff always.
And we ain't doing no alcohol.
Anyway, okay, you want to talk a little bit about Blue Spruce RV Resort?
Yeah, so I'm work camping for the first time. That's why we came up here. Kim has mentioned she's still working from home. I am working for an RV resort called Blue Spruce RV Park and Cabins. We'll put a link to it. You guys, we obviously haven't been to every RV park in the United States, but we've been to a lot of RV parks, and in my opinion, this is the nicest RV park I have ever stayed in.
I think too, like, one of the reasons is it's very much like you're camping. So there are very nice resorts around the country. They have a lot of amenities and the pools and things for the kids and all that kind of stuff. Lazy river, all that kind of thing, which are very nice. But Blue Spruce is like
It's a very traditional camping environment. Fire rings, no pool.
Nope.
No pickleball, no jacuzzi, no sauna, no lazy river.
No.
But it is still the nicest RV park I have ever stayed in. From a cleanliness perspective, from a staff perspective.
Yeah.
Everybody has been so accommodating and so nice. From the moment we arrived, everybody greeted us.
Yep.
As work campers. Everybody introduced themselves, showed us to our spot, and then likewise, I've seen the same thing, it be reciprocated to the customers that come in, because I'm not considered a customer per se. I'm a work camper, and just great reviews on this place. We're definitely going to put a link in the description. Check this place out. This is what you can expect for the Vallecito area, and just you're at 8,000 feet, and at any moment you can go to 12,000 feet in a matter of an hour. You have Durango, Colorado, that's
About
really close.
45 minutes away.
About 45 minutes away, which is super cool shopping. And then, so anyway, so to the work, do I need to talk about work camping?
Well,
or what?
Yeah, we can let me just say real quick about Vallecito Lake. The RV park doesn't have a pool and all that kind of stuff, but you do have access to the lake. There is a marina. You can rent boats.
Pontoon boats, ski boats, kayaks, no jet skis. There is trout, rainbow trout, brown trout, cutthroat trout, walleye, and there was walleye and I can't remember the other one. All in this lake. Some of the walleye are huge from what I understand. I haven't caught anything, but I'm going to give it a try.
You can do a day fishing license on a...
You can do a day, a 5-day. I'm not sure if you can do a month. I went ahead and got a year-long pass, which ended up costing me $132 because I'm a non-resident. But I'm going to be here longer than a day. I'm going to be longer than 5 days. And so it's just cheaper to get a season pass fishing license. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, and of course, Silver Lake also is about an hour and a half from here.
Silver Lake?
Is that the name of it?
Silverton?
Silverton. Whoops.
That's another town.
Silverton. It's supposed to have, we haven't been yet. We're going to do that pretty soon, and we'll talk more about that. And then, of course, Durango, and there's the train, the steam train through Durango.
It goes from Durango.
We're going to be doing that, so we'll definitely be talking about that when we get an opportunity to take that steam train. It's top of the list for us to do. So,
Yes.
yeah, so talk about a little bit about, now that we've talked about the area, tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing there at the park as a work camper.
As a work camper. So I just finished my first week. I only have to work 20 hours a week, which I really need to work more than that just from a personal perspective. I need to stay a little bit more busy. So I asked to work at least 24 hours a week, which to some is nothing. And you're right, it is nothing. Most work camping gigs are anywhere from 20 to 25 hours a week. No matter where you go and do a work camping thing, that's generally what it is. And it pays for our full hookup site. It pays for all the propane, any firewood that we use,
Laundry.
Laundry, and electricity. And so the park that we're staying at, just to put that into perspective, they do not have monthly rates. There are no long-term people there. But if you did the math and you wanted to stay a month, it's going to be well over $1,000.
Yeah.
So you can do the math. We're staying there for free, and this beautiful park for absolutely nothing. For my 24 hours a week. And so my week consists of starting on Monday, clean up after weekenders have come in and used the park for the weekend. And so I'll go in and I'll clean out fire pits. I will pick up, they'll put trash out in their bags by the road. I'll go by in the tractor and pick it up. I'll make several of those runs. And then once they leave, I'll go in, spruce the spot up, rake up any kind of pine needles or leaves that have fallen down, branches, any kind of small trash that's been left behind. I'll go back to the office. I'll make several of those trips. I'll go back to the office, make sure that the ice bin is full, make sure that firewood stack is full. And then on top of those normal duties, it's really whatever else they need you to do. So if they ask you to go do something, you know, that's what they want you to do. And it's a priority to them. And so off I go, right?
So like last night, for instance, there was a down power pole. We were without electricity and water because of it. That was, everybody had to come together and make sure all the folks that were staying there at the park were taken care of, communicated with what was going on, that kind of thing. That's an example. And then also too, like they have events.
Yeah, so yeah, but there's also a work camper that takes care of those events.
True.
We have a poker night, we have a bingo night.
They'll bring in music.
They'll bring in music, all kinds of different little things. And so we have a work camper that stays in the park, our next door neighbor as a matter of fact, and he coordinates all of those events and takes care of getting them going and keeping them going and so forth. So every work camper has their own individual set of duties. I happen to be on the grounds crew. I could be mowing one day, I could be weed eating the next day, I could be picking up trash the next day. But at the end of the day, really, I could go clean a bathroom for 24 hours and it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. What are some of the other jobs that are at this particular campground that the work campers do?
You have the entertainment person, you have grounds crew, you have a landscaping crew, you have front desk crew, housekeeping crew.
Because there are cabins.
And generally, that's about what you're going to see at all campgrounds. It's those 5 categories. You're going to apply and express your interest in one of those. And so in this particular case, I didn't even put a preference. We just showed up. And she put me on grounds, which I'm happy doing. But yeah, you just cannot beat the deal. For 24 hours a week, I get to do this. So anyway.
And not 100-degree weather.
Not 100-degree weather. I think we wake up, it's high 40s to mid 50s.
Yeah.
And then the high is 72.
Maybe 70. The wind.
76. Very rarely does this area, even in August, get up to 85. And 85, well, in Texas, we wake up to 85.
Yes, we do.
I might be exaggerating a little bit, but no, I'm not far off. I know some days that we woke up in Texas, it was 80 degrees.
83.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really nice change of pace for us. I am super excited. I hope I get invited back because I will come back here year after year and do this, and then we'll figure out the winners, where we want to go, what we want to do, where we want to be. But I think this is setting up to be our thing. So there will be posting a lot of stuff from the different areas that we're in, which will be longer term than what a lot of people on YouTube that have channels and stuff do. They hop around a lot, and we're not going to do that. We're gonna take our time. We're going to get accustomed to an area, and when we say that we've been to Colorado, by gosh, we've been to Colorado.
Yep.
It ain't going to be for a night. It's not going to be for a week or 2 weeks. It's going to be for a period of time, so we can have time to sit back and enjoy, acclimate, and really see a lot of stuff and post on a lot of stuff too. Stay tuned for a lot of that stuff. Oh, it's starting to rain.
Yep, we're
a
going
little
to have
bit.
to wrap this
I think
up.
this is coming this
Yep.
way.
Let's just wrap it up.
Okay.
We don't have a drink with us, but
No.
just like that, another journey comes to a close
Yep.
on 99 Adventures.
Yep.
And before the rain takes us out, we're going to sign off. Here's to RV life, tasty meals, yummy hamburger, and adventures still waiting for us.
Peace.
Enjoy your next adventure and bon appetit.
And happy anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.